RiverWoods group. First and foremost, just really like to thank you all for coming out this morning for this official celebratory milestone to introduce the groundbreaking of RiverWoods Durham Phase 2. Yes. I think all RiverWoods communities, but especially RiverWoods Durham being our most recent, it is a very special place, and I think the opportunity to be able to expand, provide additional opportunities, for the senior living population is something we are extremely excited about. So happy, to be able to expand the community, and it really takes a village. And I think just before we get into some of our speakers, just going to go through a quick round of thank yous for some of the key players. This has been years in the process. So, first and foremost, and we'll, have an opportunity to hear from Todd, but I think the support from the town of Durham, both from the conceptual, kind of informal discussion phase, the feedback, guidance, mentorship that they were able to provide us is just really, really appreciated. So thank you very much. And then in no particular order, I'm going to run down this list. Our expanded development design team. So Greystone, our development consultant, HE Architecture, RDG Interior Design, obviously several members here today from our construction partner, C.E. Floyd, Altus Engineering, C. Laurel Landscape Architecture, Ziegler, our attorney, Chris Bolt, Hinkley Allen, Clark Food Service, TD Bank, and then Collier's project leaders, who is going to be providing some additional support as kind of an owner's rep, quality control on the project. So we have a couple members from the Collier's team here today. Thank you very much. Ascentech, and then last but certainly not least, I think our valuable board members, the RiverWoods Durham current staff, the current residents who unfortunately, their lives are going to have a little disruption for the next 16 to 18 months. But I really sincerely thank you for your belief, support, in the vision and understanding, what the end goal really is. And then especially the resident council phase 2 advisory group, who have just been huge advocates, working along with us to make this a reality. So now, without further ado, I am going to read a letter from someone who could not be here today, and that is Senator Maggie Hassan. Dear friends, I'm sorry that I can't be with you today, but I join you in celebrating the groundbreaking of 55 new independent living apartments in a new community center at RiverWoods Durham. It is crucial that Granite State seniors have access to housing, quality care, and a strong sense of community. RiverWoods is known in New Hampshire for its commitment to this mission. At RiverWoods Durham, residents know that they will receive the care that they need, have a community that they can rely on, and continue to live life to the fullest. With this groundbreaking, we celebrate 55 new independent living apartments in a new community center being constructed at RiverWoods Durham, which means that more seniors will have access to the housing and care that they deserve. I look forward to seeing residents enjoying these new spaces for years to come. Thank you to the RiverWoods Durham for organizing today's event and for your work that has made this new construction possible. I look forward to continuing to work together to support our seniors and increase housing across New Hampshire. Thank you, Senator Hassan. Our first speaker, previously mentioned, I'd like to welcome up Todd Selig, the administrator from the town of Durham. Todd?
Move this over a little bit. Thank you all very, very much for having me today. So I have had the privilege of working with RiverWoods from the very early days when the idea of coming to Durham was first being considered. What has always stood out is the alignment between RiverWoods' mission and Durham's values. A shared commitment to thoughtful planning, stewardship of the land, and creating a strong sense of community. RiverWoods is not simply a development in Durham. It is part of the fabric of our community. Residents here are engaged, active, and connected. And that is exactly the kind of partnership we hope to foster as a town. It's especially meaningful to reflect on the legacy of a particular person, Mary Anna Hatch. Mariana was a remarkable Durham citizen whose contributions to this community spanned decades. She served on the Planning Board, the Conservation Commission, on the Board of Selectmen, and ultimately she served as the first chair of the Durham Town Council. She was also a founder of RiverWoods. Mariana had a deep belief in protecting what makes a place special and in planning thoughtfully for the collective future. In many ways, RiverWoods reflects those same values. It's fitting that this next phase continues the vision Mariana helped bring to life, one rooted in connection, stewardship, and care for others. Phase 2 of RiverWoods represents more than just new buildings. It represents an ongoing investment in people, in providing opportunities for individuals to age with dignity, to remain active, and to stay connected within a supportive environment and within a town. On behalf of the town of Durham, I want to thank the RiverWoods team, our staff, and our local officials here in Durham, and all of who have contributed to reaching this milestone. We look forward to the continuing partnership. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Todd. Our next speaker I'd like to invite up is Dan Chartrand, the board chair of the RiverWoods CCRC Board.
Thank you, Pat. And Todd, thank you. And thank you for mentioning Mariana. She is so important to all of us. She really was, there was a founding group, but there were two in particular. And her connection to Durham and our coming here to Durham is a fulfillment of her involvement. So I so appreciate you mentioning that. And I so appreciate what the town does to support us in our mission. Thank you. I'm going to speak the magic words for the CCRC board. Our purpose as an organization is that we are committed to creating community and peace of mind for each other. Together we make life better. That is what the CCRC board focuses on, and that is what we are celebrating here today. We're celebrating 55 new units, and the folks that are going to live in those units, almost half of which are here today, which is incredible. Thank you for joining us. Resident walked over a mile to be here today, and I'm very grateful to that individual. I'm at heart just a community organizer. I own a bookstore, but the mission of that bookstore is to support and grow a diverse and vibrant community around the Wittenberg, full stop. And I am involved with RiverWoods because RiverWoods is all about community as well. My heart does a flip knowing that we are going to have so many more people that will join this beautiful RiverWoods Durham community. And it really is a beautiful community. The leadership that Kurt and Deb and Jeannie and so many others on the resident council have provided to this community is key to creating that beautiful community, but in the end, it's all of the residents that create that beautiful community. There's so many committees and organizations within this this community. I think of the RiverWoods Durham Choir, led by a good friend of mine, Mary Tone, and I think of the library committee that stocks the library right inside the front door. And those are just two examples of organizations within the organization that make RiverWoods Durham such a vital and special place. I'm so grateful to be a member of your CCRC board and to celebrate the opening of this expansion of the beautiful community that is RiverWoods Durham. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dan, not only for your kind words, but continued leadership and support. Next speaker, I will introduce our fearless leader, Justine Mogul, CEO of the RiverWoods Group.
going to start by speaking directly to our future residents who are here with us today. So, raise your hand if you're a future. So Dan, thank you for coming. Dan spoke about how great it is to live here. I'm going to talk a little bit about your responsibilities. So you don't get off that easy.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, Dan said good cop, bad cop. So as I would guess you would know, and I hope you've heard many times before in your life, you are clearly a very intelligent group of people, and immensely good looking too. But just making the choice to come and be a part of this RiverWoods Durham community really proves that. This is a freaking fantastic place to live. And you have that opportunity to be a part of that every day. And today is exciting because we're not just because we're breaking new ground on homes, we're making room for new neighbors, new friendships, new traditions, and a new chapter in the life of RiverWoods Durham. You have so many wonderful things to look forward to. You'll meet interesting people, you'll have opportunities to learn and contribute, exercise and dine, and enjoy everything about this beautiful Durham community. And of course, you'll never have to shovel snow again if you don't want to. The snow thing may be the reason we sold out so quickly. But joining RiverWoods means more than choosing a beautiful home and trading in your snowblower. You're joining a community. And you're also joining a larger RiverWoods system with a long history and a clear purpose. As Todd mentioned and Dan mentioned, RiverWoods began their work to form over 40 years ago with two remarkable women, Mariana Hatch and Rosemary Kaufman, and their small group of friends that met around the dining room table. They didn't have land, they didn't have a large institutional investor, and they really didn't have any money. What they did have was a belief that there could be a better way to live and age, with purpose, friendship, community, and peace of mind. And making that happen is a huge responsibility, and probably pretty scary. They borrowed $35 million in 1994 with no money down. It's pretty amazing. And they were trying to create something new, with limited resources, no guarantees that it would work, but they felt this obligation to build something that would serve not only them, but for people in the future that they didn't know and would never know. So it was a little scary, but they understood something that remains true today in all of our RiverWoods dealings. Our obligations are bigger than our anxieties. Over time, hundreds and then thousands of residents and staff members and board members and partners have helped turn their original idea into the RiverWoods culture we know today. And RiverWoods Durham is a vital part of that history. You're joining something that's larger than a building, larger than a campus, larger than one generation of residents or staff. You're joining a mission-driven, charitable organization that exists to help make people's lives better. The people who live here and work here today, and the people who will come after us. And that brings with it not only benefits, but as I mentioned, some responsibilities. A real community isn't something our management creates and residents consume. It's something we build together. And we've been building together here in Durham for the last 8 or 9 years. RiverWoods founders believe residents should be active participants, co-creators of the community, citizens. And that idea remains the heart of how we are. Residents, staff, and trustees all contribute, even though we have a different role and often, sometimes different perspectives. Here's a tip for when you move in. Being a good community member doesn't require agreeing with everyone all the time. I mean, I am an annoying optimist, but even that's a bridge too far for me. On the whiteboard in my office, there's a quote from the actress Kristen Bell, and it says, "Annoyance is the price we pay for community." That may not sound particularly inspirational and groundbreaking, but it's true. Anytime you bring a group of people together, someone will talk too long at a meeting, hopefully not me today. Someone will have a different opinion about the menu or the temperature or the landscaping, parking, or how to run the business. But But the alternative to occasional annoyance isn't harmony, it's isolation. Community means deciding that connection, belonging, and shared purpose are worth the occasional irritation. It means being curious about one another, sharing your talents, sharing your ideas, keeping an open mind. It means asking not only, what do I want from this community, but what can I give? And it means remembering that the culture at RWD wasn't created by a building, and it won't be recreated by the building we're beginning today. The building gives you a place to live, but you and Nat and their team, you make it a community. And that's both the opportunity and the responsibility. This groundbreaking is also a reminder that RiverWoods has always looked ahead. We're strengthening an already wonderful community, creating opportunities for more older adults, welcoming people who will bring new experiences, new ideas, new energy, and probably some very strong opinions. All of that's part of the community too. So today, as Pat said, we celebrate our architects and our builders and our bankers and our staff and our board members and our business partners. You guys have all brought us to this moment, and we are so grateful. You're a big part of this community in making this happen. But most of all, let's celebrate what will happen after the construction is done. Neighbors meeting neighbors, friendships forming, people helping one another, and a group of individuals becoming an us. So future residents, we're delighted you're here. We'll be even more delighted in 18 months when you move in. We're welcoming you not simply to a new home, but into the continuing RiverWoods Durham story. I hope you enjoy all the benefits, especially the lack of snow shoveling. Embrace all the opportunities, all the responsibilities, and the occasional annoyances that come with being part of a real community. We are real people, and together we make life better. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker has a lot of history with the original Durham campus, as she was the original executive director. So I know how gratifying and fulfilling a day like today is for her. So with that, I introduce our COO of the RiverWoods Group, Kim Gassel.
Pat kind of hit the nail on the head. It definitely is incredibly gratifying to stand here this morning. I was sharing with one of our current residents that I got about a mile away this morning, and I was just kind of going about the morning, but then all of a sudden it just hit me again, and it was kind of this fire in my belly feeling that I got 7 years ago when we were opening RiverWoods Durham, and just that excitement of driving to something every day that was going to become so magical. So it really is quite an honor to be here this morning. Justine did a beautiful job of talking about some of the inception of RiverWoods as a whole. And now I get to talk a little bit more specific about this building and the magic that you are stepping into. When I was hired, RiverWoods Durham did not look like this. In fact, the groundbreaking looked much different the first time around. It truly was just a pile of dirt. But that was kind of what was so exciting about it. Before there were buildings, there was a possibility. Many of us found ourselves driving by often just to see the progress as the initial building was being built. We'd stand looking at the piles of dirt, trying to imagine what this community would become. Of course, we could picture the buildings, we could picture the trails that surround our community, but more importantly, we all began to picture the people in the community we would create. We imagined neighbors becoming friends, team members becoming like family, and a brand new community beginning to feel like home. So today we are standing at the beginning of something special once more as we stand by all of the dirt that we will take those ceremonious pictures of in just a few moments. But what none of us could have imagined back then was just how quickly the vision of a pile of dirt would become reality and would become home to so many. Our original residents called themselves the freshman class of 2019. No, really, they had shirts made and everything. That group understood what it meant to build and create community before our doors even opened. We had 7 resident committees formed, and they were meeting 6 months before the doors even opened. They were curious, enthusiastic, and willing to take a chance on a place that not long before had only existed on paper, and long before that only existed in dreams. Then together, they filled RiverWoods Durham in record-breaking time. So to our freshman class of 2027, I do feel obligated to let you know that the record still stands. No pressure, we're just a mildly competitive organization. I mean, we did even have some residents sleep here the night that they financially closed and received their keys, but none of their furniture would arrive until the next day. That is commitment. But almost as soon as we filled the community, the world did shut down with the pandemic. Everything we thought about community likely had to change, and did in many ways. But the one thing that never stopped, even when dining shut down or activities adjusted, community never stopped. Residents and team members found new ways to connect, to care for one another, to celebrate milestones, and simply show up for each other. Even though everyone was still fairly new to the community, they didn't have years' worth of history together. They had at most 4 months of all living under the same roof. So needless to say, it wasn't exactly the version of community that any of us planned. But in many ways, I think that is what made this community even stronger. And that strength is still the heartbeat of this community, and it is what you are joining. Because RiverWoods Durham proved that community is not defined by a calendar full of events or a crowded room. It is defined by what our residents are willing to do for one another when life gets hard. When nothing went according to plan, community kept showing up and choosing one another. It shows flexibility. It shows creativity. It shows grace. It shows kindness. It shows to believe that we really are better together. And in recent years, it chose to believe that the community would be even better and even stronger with the addition of Heron, Osprey, and Hatchwood, our new buildings. They chose to be better with you, our future residents, joining them. So to the freshman class of 2027, we are ready for you. Maybe not today, C.E. Floyd does have a timeline they're going to work on. But we will get you in here. And you'll be different from the class of 2019 and the ones that came after that, and you should be. We want you to bring your ideas, new traditions, new energy, new ways of contributing and giving back to the community who laid the foundation. Bring all of it. Because our purpose of making life better together isn't something we just deliver once the construction is complete and you're handed your keys. It is something that we will choose to create together again and again and again. So today we're standing beside another pile of dirt, but we know better now. We know that this is not just dirt. It is the beginning of new friendships, new traditions, new stories, and another extraordinary chapter of RiverWoods Durham. The buildings will be beautiful, but the magic will always be the people. Residents, staff, community partners, the town of Durham, board members, all who bring community to life. I cannot wait to see what your class creates. Cheers.
As I mentioned earlier, the next 18 months will not be easy. There will be unexpected challenges. Despite the best laid plans where we thought we had predicted everything, surprises will come up. And our next speaker will be a huge reason that we're able to overcome some of those obstacles. Jeannie Richards is the resident council chair here at RiverWoods Durham, and I couldn't think of anyone more appropriate to represent what this community is all about. So with that, I introduce Jeannie Richards.
Good morning, everybody, and what a morning for this celebration. I would first like to thank the groups that work so hard on the behalf of our residents. And we feel that work as an impact today as well as in the future. But I specifically want to thank the CCRC board for the work you've done over the last 2 years and the decisions you have made to create today. I want to thank the TRWG. So much involvement with what is happening here today. I also want to thank marketing. We cannot forget that they are the ones that our residents, new residents, know the best, and so I do thank marketing for all their work this past spring. And last but not least, our executive director, Natalie Belanger. She has been our rock. you all worked so diligently on everything that brought us to this point today, and I want to thank you all on behalf of the residents for the work that you did and are doing. I have been able to personally observe all of this work, and so I know you are definitely done so much for us. As chair of the resident council here in Durham, however, I first and foremost want to greet all of our new neighbors, and I'm so glad that at least half of you were here today. I did meet most of you, I think it was in May, and I'm so glad that you have returned. I am so happy, and we are so happy that you are joining us. And actually, in so many ways, we already feel like you've joined our community. And so again, I want to thank you for choosing us, and we do applaud you. It's a big choice, and it's a big decision, and we applaud you. Last year, our current residents worked together to identify many activities that we will hopefully put in place and welcome you here over the next 17, 18 months. I know we will live in 3 buildings, but we will be one vibrant community. And as you get to know each other, you'll already get to know us as well. We'll be together as neighbors. I know that many of you already know each other actually, and I think you will get to know other people very quickly in our young community, as we know. Some of you actually have already joined some of our Phase 2 work groups, which is great. And we invite you to go online and see of all our resident activities, of which there are many. Think about what interests you and join us now. We want you to be our neighbors now. To that end, and I know you're very busy with downsizing activities. We've been there. Our hearts go out to you. We do know it will happen. You'll be okay. And I know the next step, I guess, is looking at utilities and finishings of your apartments. So that's going to be fall and very busy, right, marketing? However, would you think about putting on your calendar October 2nd in the afternoon, where you can attend what we're going to be calling an apartment tour here in Harbor, so that you will be able to join us in looking at where we already live and really focusing on maybe some of the finishes that you might like to bring to your own apartment. And then, of course, join us in a great, lovely cocktail party. This is a fundraiser event for our Employee Appreciation Fund, but I think it will be a great time for all neighbors, new and old, to get together and learn more about each other. And then, hopefully, come December, we would love to have you join us at our Christmas party, so put December 17th on your calendar as well. We so appreciate bringing new neighbors to this vibrant community, and we so know that we will continue to build a very strong community here. Even though we're living in 3 buildings, we will be a strong community. So, more activities to follow in 2027. By that time, maybe you've had some of your downsizing woes resolved. I really don't want to sound like it's going to be bad, but it is not going to be easy. And we'll have so many more activities, because even though 18 months will go by very quickly, we really want our neighbors to be our neighbors. We are really pleased that you chose us, and we applaud you. Thank you.
Is not only the level of support that they provide up until this point, but just the fact that they very clearly mirror so many of our core values and the things that matter most to RiverWoods, which I think is going to make a huge difference in the end result of this Phase 2 expansion project. So with that, I'd like to welcome up Jeff Palmer from C.E. Floyd.
Hey everybody, just a little construction construction guy at heart, so speaking's not my thing, so bear with me here for a moment. It is a great privilege to be standing here tonight for this exciting groundbreaking. I'd like to thank the RiverWoods team first and foremost for giving us the opportunity to partner with them on this exciting project. It's funny, Pat just mentioned the core values, because when we started working on the project, I wanted to learn a little more about what RiverWoods was about, and so I was snooping around the website, and one of the core values really stood out to me. It was not for self. It's about we, it's not about me, it's about we. I thought that was super cool, because not only is that the cornerstone to a successful construction project, but it's also how we like to operate in our daily business. We have been in business since about 1989, and we're a certified B Corporation. For those of you who don't know what a B Corp means, what it really means is that we're held to a higher standard. We're not a business that's about profits for its shareholders. We're about supporting and progressing our clients, the communities that we serve, and the environment that we build in. Simply stated, it's a we philosophy. So while RiverWoods and us may operate on different businesses, we share the same structure and instincts. Our core purpose at C. Floyd is building visions and people. And that's exactly what matters and is most important on a project like this. Beyond the new homes, the project brings new multi-purpose space, new community center, and upgrades to other amenities that will positively impact people's lives. This isn't a building that people will pass through. It's a place that they'll live in, and where they'll gather, connect, and build a life together. So when we say we're excited about this partnership, it means specifically we're not just building visions, but we're building the people and the communities who we're going to live inside them together. So congratulations to the whole team. We're excited to be a part of the community and to be a part of the RiverWoods team. So thank you all.
Thanks, Jeff, and really to the entire C.E. Floyd team. Just a minor housekeeping item before we turn it over to Natalie to take us home. We are going to have some photo opportunities immediately following this. So we'll be heading to the expansion site across the street. We have hard hats, fun shovels, so some good photo ops. So any of the event speakers, executive leadership team from RiverWoods, board members, resident council chair and members, any state or town representatives, our sales and marketing team, and again, big shout out to them for all the hard work they've done here, and the RiverWoods Capital Development team. So after, we'll have some people organizing, but we will be meeting across the street for some photos. Our last speaker, probably by this point, even to the future residents, may not, even need an introduction, but I will say that, and I won't be shy about saying it, Natalie Belanger is one of my favorite people to work with at RiverWoods. The team and sense of community that she has built in this existing campus, and just the tenacity and passion that she has brought to this phase 2 project is unparalleled. She's not afraid to ask the difficult questions. She's not afraid to push back if she doesn't get the answer that she likes. But above all else, everything that she does is for the residents, her team, and for this community. So with that, I will turn it over to our Executive Director, Natalie Belanger.
Good morning, everyone. I'll now lower it, of course. I did wear my heels today. It is such an honor to be here with you all as we celebrate this meaningful milestone. Throughout today's program, we've reflected on the rich history of not only RiverWoods, but RiverWoods Durham, and the incredible journey that has brought us to this moment. It is especially meaningful to recognize that nearly 8 years ago, many of us stood together for the groundbreaking of our current campus, Harbor and Newfound Lodge. At that time, it was a construction site, as Kim mentioned. We looked at a lot more dirt than we are now, and lots of rock. And beyond that, possibility. We imagined what this community would become, but none of us could actually fully have appreciated how extraordinary this journey to today would be. Along the way, we've welcomed hundreds of residents, celebrated countless birthdays and anniversaries, shared concerts and conversations, comforted one another through times of grief, and celebrated life's most joyous moments. We've watched strangers become neighbors and neighbors become friends. And while the buildings and the spaces are important to our operation, what truly makes RiverWoods Durham special has always been the people. I want to share a moment that beautifully captured that. A new member of the resident council recently shared with us that when she first moved to RiverWoods Durham, she felt like she left behind the many things that had given her purpose when she was living on Main Street. Like many people experiencing a major life transition, she was finding her new rhythm, looking for ways to contribute, connect, and make a difference. After joining the resident council, she said that she found what she thought she had left behind, her sense of purpose. She has found a place where her voice is valued, where her ideas are heard and they matter, and where she can continue making a meaningful impact on the community around her. Her story is such a powerful example of what we mean by citizen culture, the belief that everyone has something meaningful to contribute, and that a thriving community is created when people come together to actively participate, share their talents, and create opportunities for one another. At RiverWoods Durham, our residents bring this philosophy to life every single day. They find connection, purpose, through the 30 resident-led committees and interest groups with more to follow when our future residents of Heron and Osprey join us, through volunteering, sharing knowledge and experiences, and through the countless ways they support and engage with one another. And our team members are an important part of that culture too. They find purpose in the meaningful work they do each day, supporting and caring for our residents and one another, building relationships, and bringing our mission to life. This is what transforms a place to a home. It is not simply the buildings we construct or the places we create or renovate, like we're doing right now. It is the people who fill those spaces with purpose, friendship, connection, and belonging. And now, we begin our next chapter. Every apartment we begin building today will hold your stories. There will be first dinners with new neighbors, grandchildren discovering their favorite places to visit, new friendships over morning coffee, volunteers finding causes they care about in the greater Durham community, family gatherings for holidays, quiet evening celebrations, laughter, and everyday moments that become treasured memories. This is exactly what we're building. More opportunities for people to experience that peace of mind, purpose, and sense of belonging that define RiverWoods Durham. To our future residents of Heron and Osprey, thank you for believing in this vision. You made the decision to join our community before we poured a single foundation or raised a single wall. Your confidence in RiverWoods Durham means so much to all of us, and we simply cannot wait to welcome you home. To our current residents and team members, thank you for embracing the changes that will come with growth. Construction will undoubtedly bring some inconveniences, many inconveniences, over the next 18 months, but it also brings tremendous opportunity. Together, we'll continue building a community that is stronger, more connected, and ready to welcome the next generation of RiverWoods Durham residents. Groundbreakings are unique celebrations. Today we're not celebrating something that's finished, we're celebrating what is possible. The first shovelful of earth we turn today marks the beginning of thousands of future moments. Morning walks among our RiverWoods trails, family visits in Hatchwood, holiday celebrations in Jackson's Landing, moving performances and a whole lot of dancing in Harmony Hall. Today we're planting the seeds of the future friendships, future acts of kindness, future celebrations, and future moments of purpose that none of us have yet imagined. So raise your glasses. That may be empty at this point, but I'll tell you, something about Durham is we never let that happen. So immediately following, we'll refill your glasses during the reception. Here's to our founders, Mariana Hatch and Rosemary Coffin. To our visionaries who imagined this expansion, the countless individuals whose hard work brought us to today, the many hands that will make it a reality, homes not yet built, friendships not yet formed, memories not yet made. It's the community that will build all of those things together. After all, together we make life better. Cheers. Cheers.
At this point, we will transition for the groups mentioned for the photo opportunities across the street. And it should be mentioned, especially for the future Phase 2 residents, if you weren't a part of one of those groups, but you would like a photo, absolutely feel free to follow us over there and we'll make it happen. And for everyone else, we'll transition into the reception. So again, thank you. A lot of exciting things to come, and here's to RiverWoods Durham Phase 2. Thank you.